Hey, what's up guys? It's ElasticSpyder here, and in today's video we've got a Yugumo replay. Now, I just recently got the Yugumo, and many of you probably have known by now, or know by now, is that the Japanese did end up getting split up into a side branch of destroyers. This should have been common knowledge for a while. And I managed to get the Kigero on the main line, and I had quite a bit of XP, so I was able to get the Yugumo relatively quickly. But in any case, I've heard a lot of good stuff about this Yugumo. I've heard that it's very competitive. It can do a lot of things that other destroyers can't, like duel with some American gunboats. Certainly it doesn't have the amazing turret traverse that things like the Fletcher would have, but it definitely has the gun power of your typical Japanese destroyer. These pretty heavy-hitting, high-explosive shells that are somewhat slow reloading and slow turret traverse, but they can do some damage if the American destroyer, or any destroyer for that matter, is not careful. So I'm playing with the Sneaky Snakies in his Ibuki, and I'm gonna go straight to B. I do have to be careful. There is a carrier in the game. I believe it was a tier 8 carrier. It might even be a tier 9 carrier. Don't quite remember. But in any case, I'd still have to be careful because a carrier can definitely do a lot of damage to me very, very quickly. One thing I do want to point out, though, is that sitting broadside like this is not always the best idea. Ideally, you would want to be angled away so you can get out of dodge a little bit quicker. But that's completely okay, because I'm confident that I can get out of dodge relatively quickly. But just for commentating purposes, I just want to point that out, that sometimes it's not the most effective way to manage your ship. Now, there's an enemy destroyer on the cap. A Neptune was spotted very briefly that was going into the cap, and it looks like another, it looks like the Iowa actually is going to be heading in there. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to keep on the cap because I don't want them to get it, but I also kind of want to see what destroyer pops out. I'm a bit afraid that he's right around this island, just right in front of me, right, this one right here. I'm a bit afraid that he is right there, so I want to keep my distance and kind of stay on the edge of the cap. Now, I hope you guys are excited for the Russian destroyers that are coming tomorrow, or today if you're watching this video, because that will certainly change a lot of things. But overall, I think the line will be a pretty good one. So I spot the Iowa, and then I spot the Kaba, who is also sitting here. Of course, he's got way worse detection than I do, so I'm pretty free to do whatever I'd like. I smoke up because I notice on the minimap that the Udaloy is 6.2 for me, and if he gets any closer, then that's not going to be good. I send my torpedoes right into the thick of things, hoping to hit the Iowa and possibly catch the Kaba off guard. It looked like he was not having any interest whatsoever of actually shooting or moving, for that matter. Looks like he even smoked up to, or might have been a cruiser like a Neptune or something. So he was spotted in there. But then I angle away in case Sakaba does throw torps. I get one torpedo, and I get him with the second one, and that's the Khabarovsk dead. So that's one devastating strike. Then I also managed to land one more torpedo, presumably on the Iowa, and I get the solo base capture, which is all I needed. So I'm going to sit in the smoke for a little bit longer. I don't want to stay here too long. Again, Kaba could have launched torpedoes, and the Udaloy was rather close. But I got a nice fire on the Neptune, which means he's going to either have to burn his damage control, or that one's going to be burning for a while. Switch to the Iowa now that he gets spotted. Now I want to set a fire here. Looks like he's not going to be moving. Again, for whatever reason, he just does not want to move. And let's see if I can't get a magical fire. Torpedoes are up. Gonna launch one on the left side of that Kaba, and then one directly at the Iowa, because again, I expect him not to move. It actually looks like he's flooding too. I didn't realize this, but someone actually was able to get his damage control before my flooding got him, which is a bit nice. That's something I actually noticed after rewatching this replay. So that's going to be a large source of damage for me. Neptune is coming in. My torpedoes are so fast and so great. I actually do use the 10-kilometer ones. I don't really like the F3s. I know they are pretty awesome. I land 2 torpedoes and then a third one to finish off that Neptune. Another devastating strike to start off this game. Again, only 5 minutes and already up to 160,000 damage. What are the 6 minutes, I'll say. Not bad. That's a lot of damage in 6 minutes, if I don't say so myself. But yeah, I actually run the 10-kilometer ones. I do have enough for the F3s, but I like the versatility that you can that comes with the 10-kilometer torps. And the reason for that is you can at 10 kilometers you are still within radar range. You still are within US radar range, which is the shortest between it and the Russians or Soviets. But you do get a little bit of a buffer room, though. Instead of having to get within 8 kilometers to launch your torpedoes, you can stay at around 9 or 10 kilometers, and these torpedoes are still extremely fast. You know, these are, I think they're 62 or 65 knots. So they're still blazing fast, and even though they've got 1.9 detectability, they're still, you know, at that range, and they're going pretty fast. You're not going to have enough time to react to them. I'm going a little all in here. I'm going to launch one for the Zao. I'm going to launch both of them, actually. He gets a nice salvo on me. Izumo dies to the Shimakaze's torps. He gets another nice salvo on me. But I think that's going to be okay. Because at least what I wanted to get him to do is, if he's not going to run into my torps, at least push him away. The other nice thing, I know the F3s do reload a little bit faster, but at the end of the day, a minute and whatever 20 seconds is certainly not bad at all. Minute and 30 seconds, whatever. Certainly not bad at all. Now you may notice I do not run torpedo booster, because I do believe you can get that on the ship if you swap it out for smoke. But I do like having my smoke, because if I do need to smoke up and get into cover pretty quickly, I am still able to do that. I don't value the torpedo booster all that highly. Plus, if I've got smoke, I can use it somewhat offensively, like I did with the Iowa. Of course, it was kind of secondary at that point, at the time of launching the smoke. But, of course, it still allows me to do that, having that little buffer. Sorry, looking at the replay. Having that little extra thing at my disposal. I was talking about the buffer that I was getting between me and the Shimakaze. I've got 5.5 kilometer concealment. Shima's got, I believe, 5.9. He gets a fire on me, but that's okay. I'm not going to charge him down. That's always going to be a winning battle for him, especially with a Neptune and in a Magi not too far behind. So I'm just going to slowly go into here. I'm hoping to get some torps off on this Magi, or maybe even this Neptune. Do have to be careful, because the Shimakaze did send one set of torpedoes, which means another set is not far away. I believe I'm going for the Magi here, and sending one on either side. Of course, you guys can't see that, because I don't know what happened there. But either way, if there was a replay that I didn't catch it, that's okay. And again, more offensive smoke. I can pop this here and get him to Lowe's repair. It looks like, I think I actually remember this. Sneaky was like, wow, this guy popped his damage control on one fire. I'm like, okay, that's good. But unfortunately, that means that he's going to turn away. But hopefully he learned his lesson of not popping your damage control in the middle of the ocean on one fire. Certainly if you got 2 fires, then that's completely understandable. And if you get 2 more, that's just by chance. not much you can do there. But I'm going to cap this out. It's so nice to be sitting in smoke. This is why, of course, I use the smoke over the reload booster. I thought that the Amagi was shooting blindly into the smoke, but I saw that there was a battleship behind me. Of course, Shimakaze's torpedoes, I'm not too worried about. I've got the island between me and him, and he's actually going around to BIAworld, where he will see some of my other friends. So Amagi's lost a lot of health, and he's just about dead. Yeah, and you may notice that I am also pink. Yeah, long story short, in smoke with my Neptune, ships all around me. Friendly was perpendicular to a enemy that was sailing parallel to me, so I launched torpedoes and they missed the enemy Iowa, and then just a bad story. But my Iowa buddy ended up taking some torpedoes. Alright, so looking at the screenshots here, not a bad game, certainly did a lot. Of course, I am pink as I just described. 2 devastating strikes, 15,000 XP, almost 500,000 credits, 170,000 damage, 160 of which I earned in the first 6 minutes. 2 solo base captures, 7 torpedo hits, 2 ships killed. Now it'd be nice if I could swap it. There we go. You can see 2.926 base XP, almost 3k with 2 ships killed, as I detailed before. Detailed report. You can see where my torpedoes did a lot of work. 96,000 damage from them, and 36,000 from the guns, and then 37,000 from flooding. Not too close to Witherer, but certainly would have been nice. And credits and XP, 290,000 credits earned, or for that's total with my spent credits already deducted, and then you can just see the rest. Hope you guys enjoyed this Yugumo replay. I'm certain that I will have another replay with the Yugumo relatively shortly, because this is a very, very fun ship. But I hope you guys enjoyed, and take it easy, guys.